here with Extenzo stretch ceilings. So you've been in South Africa for about 3 years, but the product has been around for about 30 years. Tell us about Extenzo stretch ceilings itself.
Extenzo is actually a product manufactured in France itself. The company has started manufacturing ceilings in the early 1980s, and they actually export worldwide. In South Africa, we're 3 years old. Yeah, it's an innovation to ceilings. So.
Okay, when you talk about stretch ceilings, is this the application that you can put into your house? Indoors? Can it work outdoors? Or is it specifically for office companies or corporates, etc., who want to do something different in their environment?
Stretch ceiling can be utilized basically anywhere you want to use, except for outdoors. It's not an outdoor product at all because it's very sensitive to UV.
Okay.
But indoors, we do a lot in houses, with features of bulkheads. A lot with retail, so shopping centers can utilize our product. Office blocks also utilize it. We can do a lot of branding with it. We can print onto our membrane. So companies that want to put their logos and actually backlight the actual membrane itself, it allows light to actually diffuse through it.
Okay.
We do have a product with that effect. And a lot of hospitals utilize our product because it's bioproof. So no dust can actually settle to it. It's very hygienic. So in areas where a lot of hygiene is obviously needs to get experience, we can utilize our product.
Okay, now you've just mentioned a very important word, membrane, and obviously with our membranes it's about memory. When you see something stretch, like a lot of people, cellulite, like maybe mine, it doesn't go back to where it's supposed to look, but this membrane actually has a memory, so if you do push your hand through, it can come back into its original form. Not like a trampoline. The quality of the material is not as strong as a trampoline. Is it similar in terms of the style or the idea?
The idea is very similar. The only difference is that it hasn't got a memory effect. It does go back to its original memory with basically no damage whatsoever. Okay. Obviously, like all products, it has got its limitations.
Okay.
This can go to double its size of its area. Okay. So in areas where you have water leaks in houses, a geyser burst, all the water will settle. It can go to double its size. It does not damage the membrane. It is completely waterproof.
Okay.
We can open the membrane, drain all your water out, and put it. So what we'll do, we're going to demonstrate. Obviously, you saw the sealing. It was actually installed. Tony actually took the sealing out. He's basically applying some heat onto it to allow the membrane to actually get flexible.
Okay, so I'm seeing Tony do this, and I just can't see my husband and I trying to do this ourselves. We will either burn each other down or burn the house down. So I'm thinking that your team will have to come to the house to have it fitted if you want it done yourself.
Correct. The whole procedure is that basically you'll call us out. We give you some ideas if you want to incorporate it into bulkheads or just as a normal plain conventional sealing.
Okay.
We obviously do take measurements. If you see, basically each ceiling is purposely made for your needs.
Okay.
So if a room is basically 2 by 2 or 3 by 3 and there's a lot of kinks in it, it's not a problem. Can have columns, can have anything. This is basically a ceiling. So whatever normal conventional ceiling can get done, our product does the same.
What about the cornices that people have that are very pretty? Do you have those removed before you put this in, or do you work around it?
No, we can install cornices onto it. There's a different application onto it,
Okay.
but we can install cornices. If you've got already existing cornices, obviously you have to remove them and then reinstall them again and again.
Okay, when I'm thinking of average ceilings, we've got the plasterboard ceilings in most complexes and apartments, as well as the pine ceilings, etc. If I want to put this into my house, do I then take the plasterboards out? Do I take out the actual ceiling existing and then put this in? And then so it's literally this ceiling and the beams that will separate us?
The beauty about this is that you can leave your old ceilings behind, so all those years of dust that you've got stays there. It's utilized as an acoustical barrier, so everything can stay behind. All we need is about 3 centimeters to actually work underneath that ceiling.
Okay, so you preempted my next question about acoustics, because if you're going to have this in your home theatre area with your sound, and let's say every bedroom's got noise or television, how much sound can be protected or withheld within a room if we have one of these Extenzos up?
Extenzo is not soundproof. Okay, so if you do require it to be soundproof, you obviously have to put acoustics above it. Acoustics above it has to be self-supported.
Okay.
So you can actually support it off wire, or you can actually put another grid above it to put all your acoustics. But it's not, sound will travel through the ceiling.
Okay.
Now, the beauty about this is that if you put it into a room and you want to conceal your lighting and you want to conceal
Yes.
your speakers, you can have background music traveling through, it allows sound to travel through the actual membrane itself.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. What about insulation? Does it keep your house warm, or your people obviously have the foam that's above? Does it keep any kind of warmth in the house?
The heat will travel through the actual seating itself. Okay, it will obviously heat the house up. We do have a system, basically, it's called a climatic range. It's for air conditioning, basically. So instead of putting your air conditioning in your house, basically all we need is an inlet that goes into your ceiling void. As long as your plenum is completely sealed, our ceiling will allow it to radiate. We have a 12 mm gap around your whole wall, and that will allow the actual air to actually travel down the wall and actually aircon your whole room faster than a normal air conditioning system.
All right, so from what I can see, Tony basically has taken the seating out. He's applied some heat to it and stretched. He's now placed it back in the actual brackets, which is kind of putting it into place. Any chances that this will fail in terms of falling down? You're not going to have half your ceiling shape. So this little bracket, does it hold it permanently into place or for as long as possible?
We have a few brackets. This is obviously a PVC bracket, okay, but it does come in different finishes. We do have an aluminium type of a bracket. It looks a little bit prettier because PVC people seem to see it's actually cheap.
Sure.
So aluminium, it's actually fixed wall mounted, or can get it actually ceiling mounted.
Okay.
Okay. No, it's not. If it's installed correctly, obviously our teams are actually quite trained in this. So if it's installed correctly, it should not actually fail.
Okay, now see, obviously you've chosen a very plain beige color or white. What if somebody wants to have a colorful room for their kids, perhaps a green or a blue? Do they come in different colors? Can we coordinate them with the rest of the bedroom?
Yes, we've got about a range of 180 different colors, ranging from matte to satin to high gloss.
Okay.
Now, high gloss is basically well known, okay, because it's basically you can't achieve it in your paint finish. So if you actually walk through the tunnel, the main tunnel that you actually walk through, those ceilings are all high gloss black, giving it this mirror look and giving it a double volume effect look. So high gloss, reds, yellows, greens, purples, blues, all in high gloss, and your normal satin colors are also available. It's a big range of 180 colors, as well as translucent. Translucent, like I said, it allows light to travel through. But when the light is off, you can have a plain color satin, or you can have a high gloss as well.
Okay, well, we see a little, please, a round of applause for our little demonstrator up there. He's a very famous guy. He's been working for Extenzo for a long time. He's showing you right now what, hopefully this doesn't really happen in your house where your kids climb through the roof and do this as a game. But Paula's demonstrating the flexibility of the actual stretch seating itself, that if this was water and it wasn't really a child, how the seating would stretch to collect the kind of water. How does this work? Explain to us what's happening right now.
So basically we're going to show basically how much it can actually expand, okay? And obviously Tony's applying heat to show, obviously to allow him to go further down, okay? And then we'll pull him out, and basically you'll see it actually go back to its memory effect.
Because that would be the problem. If this was water and this came through your roof and you saw the ceiling, you don't really want to have a ceiling like this. So to go back into place, the membrane quality of the Extenzo will get it back to exactly the same quality that it was
what Tony
before.
could do is actually open on the side here, to actually open it, drain all your water back out again, clip it back in, apply heat, and it will go back to its normal effect.
And again, it's not advisable that the average person do it. We'd rather get the trained Extenzo people to do it. So
basically now panel will get off. We're going to show you how basically you're going to twist it, tape it. That's the excess of the actual membrane itself.
okay, that's the part that kind of stretched while he was standing on it, right?
That's the excess of membrane. Now Tony will apply some heat onto it, and you'll actually see the sealing go back to its memory.
Oh, there we go. That's pretty amazing. Can you see, ladies and gentlemen, the seating has actually gone back to its original. If this happens quite often in a house where there are lots of roof leaks, etc., how long can this last? How durable is this? How many years guarantee can one have on a seating like this?
We offer a 15-year guarantee on the product, and as well as Extenzo head office in France, provided that obviously the membrane is looked after and is obviously not tampered with. But durability, if no one touches it, and if there is no problems with the membrane, it will last 15. There is already hotels in France all over the world at 20 years old, 30 years old, and the membrane is still there.
Okay, now looking at the actual quality of this, when I look at it, it's like plastic to me, which means I could want to clean it, and if I have somebody to help me at home to dust it and put handy Andy or whatever. I don't know what you're getting on the ceiling, by the way, but if somebody happens to spill something, how do you want to clean and maintain it so it looks nice and neat, so when your guests do come and look up, they don't see any stains of any sorts?
The beauty about it, you can actually utilize your normal water with a bit of soap or with a bit of windoline. As long as you don't apply it direct to the product, put onto a cloth and you wipe it down, it's easily.
Hot, cold water, anything specific? Because obviously this is heat, works with heat,
Doesn't
so...
make a difference. You can have lukewarm water, cold water, it will not affect the membrane at all.
Okay, so growing up, I was a huge Spice Girls fan, and I think I still am a Justin Bieber fan. So for those moms and dads who have kids who have this crazy mania of Justin Bieber, this could be a really cool present because you said you can actually print images on the ceiling.
Correct. We can print the skies, we can print the stars, we can do any kind of printing you want. As long as it's in high resolution, okay, we can print basically any photo. On our stand, you'll see we actually got a print, okay, it actually diffuses light through it as well. So any type of a print, whether it can be basically your family's photographs, it's high resolution, we can print on the membrane itself.
Well, that's pretty special. One more question about the lighting. I know that people have asked us about how does lighting work? So you have down lighting in the room. If we have it existing already, do you come and take it out and then put the ceiling underneath it, or can you work around it?
Correct. Being PVC and obviously being so thin, it's very flexible. It cannot carry any weight. So what we do is, you've got existing downlighters, we try and self-support all integration of the actual ceiling itself. So if you've got an old ceiling, that old ceiling will serve as a purpose to hold that downlighter off it, okay? Or if there is no ceiling, we'll build a structure to actually hold this, either it's a sprinkler or speaker or a downlighter. Any integration. If you want to conceal light above it, okay, you can conceal light. Obviously, if you fix it to existing ceiling, then long-wearing lights. So if you need access to the ceiling, we'll call us. We'll obviously access it, service your lighting.
And from a safety perspective, with heat from light, etc., what about fire hazards? Is this something that we could put into a house and be safe, that your kids could sleep safely under, and then it wouldn't really either fall on them or catch a light?
Obviously, it has to be a light that doesn't obviously give off a lot of heat. Okay. So it has to be either a low voltage, okay, or LED lights. Any lights that just diffuse a lot of heat, it can actually burn the membrane itself.
Okay, let's say you have a situation like this was actually a bedroom, somebody has a fireplace going or a heater, etc. Can it possibly affect the ceiling in any way? Can it come down or melt or something like that?
It has to be excessive heat, so if there is a fire in the house, okay, if the fire gets in contact with the membrane itself, the membrane will basically vaporize and smoke, and there will be no droplets whatsoever. So in a fire, it will not fall on top of anyone. It just vaporizes, and you'll see a little bit of smoke, and it's gone.
Okay, now I see you also brought it on a bar, so I suppose if you are in an exhibition kind of situation, this is actually portable. Is this somebody, could it work for somebody who has a hot dog stand, or somebody who does outdoor work, who's doing a presentation, for example? Do these brackets come with it? Can work on frames that can be made, especially for somebody who has an outdoor business or might want to have a ceiling like this, perhaps to put a branding or to show off some kind of imaging of their company?
Correct. We can basically, we can purpose make anything. So for outdoor businesses, our product is not outdoors. It's one thing it's not outdoors. It is sensitive to UV. Okay, so it cannot be utilized for outdoors, but it can be utilized in verandas. If you've got concealed verandas, we can utilize our product. All these framing is manufactured by us, so we can obviously purposely make anything for any business.
Okay, now you also said just any shape, any size, basically anything you want, you guys can do it. And I see the brackets have held it in quite nicely. Those will be safety standards when you guys come to fit it in. They'll make sure that it doesn't come through at all.
Correct. All our staff are all trained and all safety gear. Yes.
Is there anything specifically you want to tell people about the Extenzo, where they can find it, how they get in touch with you, some of the success stories of the company?
Well, like I said, we've been involved with for about 3 years. We've done some great shopping centers already. Park Meadows, we've done great chandeliers. What's good about this product, not only a ceiling, it can be utilized as features in shopping centers. So if you want to create big chandeliers, big bulkheads, floating bulkheads, it can also be utilized as features. We've done banks. One of the known banks is Capitec banks. They utilize our product in the main entrances. They use the translucent type ceilings. A lot of houses we've done also. If you, like I said, you walk through the tunnel, you saw basically our product going through your tunnel. In the main atrium, you saw all those big arches in the main atrium. It was all done by Extenzo, and we've got quite a big stand at G23 where you can actually have a look, where we've got basically all the types of products we've got there. I can show you the prints, we can show you the suede, we can show you the matte colors, the high gloss colors, and basically and the translucent. So if you want to see how the translucent works, visit our stands, and one of the technicians here will explain to you basically how all this product does work.
And before you leave, obviously the world is moving towards being more eco-efficient and taking care of the environment. How friendly is this to the earth?
Well, we do classify as being green. Basically, PVC is not green. But on the actual manufacturing of the product, we do classify it as being green because obviously the less energy is being used on the actual product itself. The packaging, for example, 100 square meters of flush plastic ceilings, plasterboard ceilings, you obviously need quite truckloads, need quite a lot of volume, and basically 100 square meters of this is basically 2 small boxes. So it's less on transportation, less on fuel, transport will be easier up and down. So that's basically how we get classified as being green.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Paolo. So G23 is your stand.
G23, we do have a showroom in Edenvale itself. It's quite a big showroom, so if you do want to pop around to our showroom in Edenvale, we are in Green Hills Estate. If you contact one of us, we'll give you a card. You can pop around there. One of our marketing ladies there can show you basically through all the samples, and we've got a whole training set that we can actually show you putting it off, putting it on, and give you some ideas as well.
Thank you so much, Paolo. I wish Lionel Richie were around because he was singing about dancing on the ceiling. This guy could rock this down. At least we know when he leaves the party, things will go back to normal. So G23, ladies and gentlemen, this is Paolo from Extenzo showing us the stretch ceilings compliments of Extenzo. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.